Hi, I'm Samantha, and I want to start by saying something important. I see you. I see the late nights you've spent perfecting your resume. I see the disappointment when another application disappears into the void. I see the self-doubt creeping in, making you question your worth and your qualifications. And I want you to know that every single feeling you're experiencing is valid and shared by millions of talented professionals just like you. The job market can feel impersonal and discouraging, but your career story deserves to be told in a way that captures attention and opens doors. That's exactly what Resume Flow does. We take your unique experiences, skills, and aspirations and craft them into a compelling narrative that employers can't ignore. You're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right opportunity that recognizes your value and propels your career forward. With Resume Flow's AI-powered insights and optimization tools, we're going to make sure that opportunity finds you. Your breakthrough moment is closer than you think. Let's create it together.
Spartans! What is your profession?
I'm not their echo, I'm my own sound. My roots in the earth, my head unbound. They whisper and judge, but I'm not their clay. I mold my tomorrow, I'm done with today. I walked away from their parade. Their words like stones that ricochet. They call me lost, but I am found on this quiet road where I'm unbound. I walked away through the quiet of the storm. Their voices loud, but my soul felt warm. They point their fingers, call me the stray, but I found my freedom when I walked away, yeah.
I walked away from their parade. Their words like stones that ricochet. They call me lost, but I am found on this quiet road where I'm unbound. I walked away through the quiet of the fray. Their voices loud, but my soul felt warm. They point their fingers, call me the stray, but I found my freedom when I walked away. They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
Their dreams aren't mine, they never fit. A puzzle forced, it just won't click. I see the world through my own eyes, not filtered through their scripted lies.
Their dreams were cages I couldn't call home. I saw a horizon where I could roam. They don't understand what they can't contain, but my path is my own through joy and pain. They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
Let them whisper, let them glare. I have grown strong in this thin air. The crowd may roar, but I won't bend. My road's my own until the end. They call me the outsider for chasing my flame. Their rules and their boxes I refuse to claim. I won't be a shadow, I'll carve my own way. They can try to shame me, but I won't obey. They call me the outsider for chasing my flame. Their rules and their boxes I refuse to claim. I won't be a shadow, I'll carve my own way. They can try to shame me, but I won't obey.
They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
So call me the outsider if that's what I'll be. I'd rather be lost if it means I'm free. Their maps are for them, I'll chart my own sea. I walked away, now I'm finally me.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? How is everyone doing today? I hope that you guys had a beautiful Thursday. I hope that you are having a beautiful and phenomenal week. I am Tickle. We are engineered to win. Let me go ahead and get this thing over here. All right. How is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? Today was busy for me, but I am having a phenomenal week as always, and I'm living the life. I am living the life. Tonight we have some great things in store. We are going to go back to anything, to create anything to be more specific, to continue working on our OBS lower thirds. That is the goal for tonight. That's our game plan. I want to keep working on it to see how we can make more use of it. I have some other ideas as well that's been coming into my mind that we can use create anything for. But the first thing that we wanted to do was the OBS lower third, to see how we can build a semi-web-based plugin similar to what I have on right now, but integrate that into first of all create it and then integrate it into OBS. We're able to see it up last week, and it was working for the most part, but we still need to do some fine-tuning on it. So we are going to jump into anything, create anything, and keep working on that. And we have some great break time topics about Apple, about the Workday CEO, and about NVIDIA. So we're going to be getting into all of those things during the break. But the main goal for tonight is to continue working and building out our OBS lower third with the anything platform. Now, before we do that, you guys know that I have to take care of my people. Oh, that was loud. I got to take care of my people. First and foremost, I just got to say a big thank you and shout out to every new subscriber to the channel, helping us grow so fast, allowing me to add value into your lives. Whether you're brand spanking new or whether you have been with me for a very long time, whether you enjoy the clips and the video on demands that we release, or you like to participate in the live stream, whether you like to chat, whether you like to watch from the clouds, whatever it is that you like to do, as T.I. said, you can have whatever you like. Now, however it is that you like to participate, I just thank you for giving me the opportunity to let me share this tech knowledge, this career mindset, this purpose-driven mindset with you. So I just want to tell you that I truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Because you could be anywhere, but you are here with me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to all of the Patreon members who rock with me, and we are getting this tech skill, this tech knowledge. I'm taking you through the apps that I'm building on our vibe coding, which I'm going to get into a little bit after we get through all of the pleasantries, right? I'm going to get, we do have a vibe coding chill session this coming weekend. Yes. I know that you guys were waiting for it. We do have one coming up this weekend. 2 weeks ago, we did the software testing workshop. We're going to be going over, I'll get into it, but we're going to be going over the apps that we've been building, answering your questions, kind of like office hours, all of that good stuff this coming Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to seeing you there. So shout out and salute to all of the Patreon members, my tech barbarians, my technical explorers, all of you guys. We the best. We are the best. There is no one better. I'm telling you this, right? How good does it feel to walk, to run, to sprint with those who are going in the same direction as you, those who have a desire to win and to work and to be successful? Because I will tell you this, along the way, there will be people who try to latch on, but they won't be able to hang on. They'll say they want one thing, but they will do the complete opposite. How does the term go, Junior? Wolves in sheep clothing? How does that? Wolves and sheep, they'll come along, but they will fall off. And guess what? Guess what? You can either lose your arm trying to hold on to them, or you can run free. I say you run free and you go and you get the victory that belongs to you. All right. And last and certainly not least, shout out to those YouTube channel members, those tech mercenaries of mine. They are vicious. They are ruthless. They are mercenaries. We are here for hire. We are here to work. We are here to get it. Let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it, y'all. All right. Quick announcements. Tomorrow, I will be releasing a video, the bug bite. We are going to dive deep into the root cause of the AWS outage from last week, Monday, October 20th, 2025. I would say a major portion of the internet was affected. So we're going to be figuring out what exactly happened. I'll give you a hint. It's always, I repeat, it's always DNS. Always DNS, domain name servers, domain name service. It's always DNS. We're going to be breaking down the amazing technology behind it, but the major failure that took people out of commission, including 8 Sleep, the Pod 4 and Pod 5 beds that turned into wet beds. We reviewed that the other day. I released a clip for it today at noon Eastern time. I released a clip for that. It was crazy, but we're going to be reviewing what actually caused all this havoc on the internet, on companies, on even your very expensive beds. And remember, they're not even beds. They are bed covers that cost a pretty penny or two or 8,000 pennies. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Well, more than 8,000 pennies. It's way more. It's actually way more than 8,000 pennies. Anyways, don't ask me to do math. It is too late in the day for me to do math. All right. And then after that Saturday, yes, Saturday, we have a Saturday thing that we are doing together. Let's go. On Saturday, you have 2 ways to participate. You can either join the Google Meet, which it is posted in the Patreon, or you can watch live from the Patreon. I will be streaming it to the Patreon as well from the Google Meet. I figured out the technology to do it. It's really cool. Really kind of cheap too to do it, actually. Right? But we'll be streaming that to the Patreon as well, so you can watch either way. But here is what we're going to be talking about on Saturday. We're going to be going over the enhancements to 3 different applications. 3 different applications. We're going to be talking about the coaching portal. I got some amazing things done on there. It is, the waitlist is up, but I'm going to be pushing my tech barbarians, the ones that I coach one-on-one, to start using it. I'll give you one thing already, right? Because I was struggling with this. I was struggling to get the calendar integrated, and I got that yesterday, and I'm so excited about that. So I'm going to be pushing them to use the coaching portal so that we can log the sessions, all that. But I will be going in great detail about all the enhancements that I did over the past couple of weeks. This coming Saturday, we're going to be talking about the content creation assistant. Oh my God, I made so many enhancements to that, which I even created the waitlist for that, but I'm going to be launching the waitlist for the content creation assistant on Saturday for content creators who want to streamline their workflow, who want to be able to have, how would I say this? They want to be able to have good descriptions, good titles, good thumbnails, without having to spend a lot of time on each video. Let's say you're a high producing content creator, but you just don't have time for all the little things. Come on Saturday and see the features, join the waitlist for the content creation assistant. And last, but certainly not least, resume flow. We're going to be talking about that as well. Some major enhancements that we're doing to resume flow, including marketing for it. How are we are developing a way to better steer the marketing process and to get signups. So we're going to be discussing that as well. So at least 3 different applications that we're going to be discussing on Saturday, and I should be able to get some of the members of the projects to come and talk their piece as well. So many great things coming. I am looking forward to seeing each and every one of you there, because guess what? It is a free event inside of the Tech Coach Off Patreon. So you can get additional ideas for your applications and you can level up. That's my goal for you. If I can get you 0.1, even 0.01% better every single day, I am excited. Yes, I am excited because I want growth. I want development. I want you to look at the future, because if you are exactly where you are a year from now, then I have failed you, but worse, you have failed yourself.
Bruh. Congratulations. You played yourself.
And I do not want you to play yourself, all right? I do not want you to play yourself. So come and chill. Come and vibe code and chill with your boy Tech Coach Ralph on Saturday. You can ask me anything. And I will do my best. I mean, that doesn't mean I have an answer, but I will do my best to answer you and help you level up and help you run it up. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. Let me check the chat, and then we're going to get into a little bit of an icebreaker, because I have a really good icebreaker for today, right? I have a really good icebreaker for today. So we got my guy Junior in the building with the what's up family. What's good, Junior? How are you doing? I don't have to, you know what? I take it back. I take that back, Junior. I don't have to ask how you're doing, because I know that you are doing wonderful. I know that you are doing wonderful, and I love to hear that. I love to know that. Because I don't have to worry about Junior. I know Junior is always good. He is always on it. He is always with it.
Are you ready?
All right. And Junior says the lower third looks like the one from the new. So this lower third is still the one from the other program that I was using. I haven't, because the other one, like the new one, it's not ready. It's not fully ready yet. There was some things that we're still working on, like the size of the logo, the positioning and stuff like that. So I'm still using this one until we can get a nice, clean, functional lower third with the gradients and stuff like that, moving and all that good jazz. And once we have that, then I will transition over to that, to the new one, right? To the new one, all right? And you says the sound effect sounds normal to me. That's what I'm talking about. I was looking at it. I was like, okay, let's see. Let me make sure my sound levels are coming through, and we are good to go. You says, yes, sir. Wolves in sheep clothing like Little Red Riding Hood. Yep. Look, there will be tons and tons of people who are trying to throw you off your game, trying to distract you, and I say that you do not have to sacrifice your life for them. Nope. Either they get on your purpose, on your mission, on your path, or like the song says,
Every step I took alone, built a kingdom all my own. No more shadows pulling strings. I am light, I am wings.
I walked away, no chains to bind. I left the past, I cleared my mind.
Sometimes you just gotta walk away. You just gotta walk away. You do not have to sacrifice yourself. You do not have to let anybody, I repeat, you do not have to let anybody drag you down. Cut the ties. Cut the ties and win. Cut the ties and win. You gotta leave the past behind sometimes. Not sometimes, all the times. You gotta leave the past behind. All right? Anyways, Anyways, let's get into our icebreaker. Let's get into our icebreaker for tonight. All right. So, I want to talk to you about this, right? We keep hearing about all of these layoffs that are happening by these major corporations. Yet, we, the proverbial we, I personally don't hate big corporations. I love them, but we hate big corporations, right? The billionaires, the billionaires, the billionaires. It used to be the millionaires. Now, until it's always the millionaires until you become a millionaire. Then it's like, oh, the billionaires. And then once you become a billionaire, there's gonna be like the trillionaires. There are, blah, 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 blah. We hate big corporations, right? However, we get so mad when they get smaller. So for instance, Amazon, like I'll see these thumbnails, I'll see these news video titles. We just reviewed about Amazon cutting 14,000 corporate employees, maybe up to 30,000. Just on Tuesday, we reviewed it, right? People are going cray over these companies cutting employees. Microsoft cut, UPS, I think they just cut 48,000 jobs. And we start panicking, like, oh my God, they fired people, but we also hate them. We don't want them to exist. I don't understand. So on one hand, if Amazon was to say that, you know what, we are closing down, we're going out of business, some politicians would celebrate. And then they would wake up and they were like, oh my God, if Amazon went out of business, about 500,000 people, maybe even 1 million people are losing their job. Same for Walmart. If Walmart went out of business, people hate Walmart with a passion. Like, oh my God, they're killing the little small mom and pop stores, all this type of stuff. They hate them with a passion. But if Walmart says, you know what? If they were to do what happened in Atlas Shrugged, and he says, you know what? We're wiping our hands of you ungrateful people. Yeah, you ungrateful. I'm talking to you. Ungrateful, right? Oh my God. Oh, I'm going to steal from Walmart. I'm just going to go walk into the store and and if anybody tries to stop me from stealing from Walmart or from Target or wherever, then we're going to have some repercussions and consequences up in this. Y'all hate them. You hate the big corporations, right? But then when they say, you know what? We are going to downsize. Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. And then, so Walmart does it, right? And we're like, oh, no. Then Amazon says,
Another one.
We're gonna get rid of some people. And then Microsoft does it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You get mad, but you also hate them. So if they have a bunch of employees, you hate them. If they get rid of employees, you hate them. What's a company to do? What is a company to do, right? I don't know. So here's how I see it, right? Here is how I see it. When these companies, right, Amazon, Microsoft, Walmart, Tesla, whoever, X, when they get rid of these people, it's going to be two types of people who get rid of, right? It can only be two types of people who they get rid of. Either one, people who didn't really add, like they should have never been hired in the first place. They really didn't add any tangible value to the company. they were taking away from the bottom line rather than contributing to it. That's one type of person. Or on the other side, there might be people who are really, really good, but they had too many of them. Now, I don't really have much to offer for the people who were taking up space and taking up money, right? But for those who are really good, I believe that these major big corporations are giving back to the smaller companies who maybe didn't have the opportunity to get these higher level employees, maybe a software engineer. Because I'll tell you this, it's going to be tough. Let's say you are a an Amazon, right? You don't need 5 lead engineers all on the same team on the same project. It's overkill. It's honestly that truth. And I would say if they had 5 lead engineers on one team, right, working on the same exact project, they need maybe 1, 2 at the most. And then they need like maybe seniors, juniors, who are actually working on the actual project. Because lead engineers, they don't necessarily work on the actual project. They're the ones who are going out there. They're the pioneers. You can't have that many pioneers. You can't have that many pioneers. So now, if they have to get rid of some lead engineers, now that gives other smaller companies the opportunity to get highly skilled individuals to work for them and with them. But we get mad. No. Stop it. Those engineers belong to the corporations that we hate. Do you guys remember this? Amazon was about to open a huge warehouse or whatever operation in Queens, New York, I believe, right? I think was it Queens? I think it was Queens. Might have been the Bronx. And a certain congressperson told him, do I have this sound? Oh my God, I don't have. You know what? Wait, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it for you. Give me a second. Give me a sec. No. I gotta have this sound bite because this is not gonna be right if we don't have this sound bite. Hold on. Sound. Let's go for, because you're gonna see what I mean here. I don't know what happened to it. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Cool. Yep. There. So, Amazon, they're going to open a huge, maybe processing center, warehouse stuff in Queens or Bronx or something like that. And it was going to give maybe like 40,000 jobs. Let's say I think it was like 13,000 jobs. It was going to be a lot of jobs, right? And they were protested. They were told,
do not come.
So that's what they told them. They said, we do not need you. We don't need your stinking jobs in New York. We don't need your stinking jobs in New York. Keep those jobs to yourself. But now, when we hear that these major corporations are slashing jobs, making these engineers available to other companies, because I'll tell you this, if you're an engineer at Amazon, right, and they said you have to come to the office, and you said, no, I will not do it. I refuse to do it. And now you're like, well, I'm going to quit. You said, because I want to work remote. I guarantee one of these smaller companies, they will allow you to work remote if you used to be an Amazon lead engineer. You might not get as much money as you got at Amazon, but you will get the freedom that you want because Amazons do what they want. The smaller companies do what they can. All right. They do what they can. And with the way that technology is going today in AI, so many more small businesses get the opportunity to have a fighting chance. It is a lot more easier today to get your idea out to the public and faster and to fruition to see if it actually holds any value. If I used to work for one of these major companies, on day one, I would have my consulting company up and running, reaching out to these smaller companies to provide them assistance. Now, when I say on day one, don't take me literally. Like people try to say, with on day one we'll get the prices of everything lower, and then like day two happens and the price starts to go down. And it's like, but it didn't do it on day one. It didn't do it on day one. Like, look, you had like day 100, you had like day 1,000, and you still didn't do it. I digress. Anyways, that's my thoughts. That is my thoughts. I'm like, what exactly do you want at the end of the day? What do you want? Do you want the big corporations that you hate to stay really, really big? Or do you want them to spread the wealth? Do you want them to get rid of some of the best engineers so that other companies have a fighting chance? Make up your mind. Bruh. All right. Those are my opening thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments, in the chat. Am I off on this? Am I off? Should I want the big corporations to stay big forever? Or should I be okay with them getting a little smaller and giving other people opportunities to have some of their amazing, amazing employees? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. All right. We're going to get to work. We are going to get to work for tonight. Go to, let me see, make sure I got the right thing up. We are on Thursday night. Go here. So exploring, create anything, custom OBS lower third plugin. This might as well be part two. Let me get this over here. Sweet. All right. So let me go to make sure, pull this up. All right, we're going to go over to, I'm going to put 20 minutes on the clock.
It's time to do.
We are, where did this go? All right, hold on. Where did you go? Let's see. Mode. And let's go to, where are you? Okay. And there we go. Let's do that again. Let's get started.
It's time to do.
Okay. So, the project we're working on is OBS lower third. And it's opening up the preview. We have a name. Should have a name. So basically, what we did last week on As We Build Software with Tekotrof. That's my narrator voice, which is terrible. But we said we wanted to build a OBS lower third plugin, and it was going to be web-based, which we got it to work. It shows up, but we ran into a little bit of issues where we're going to try to fix that. Why is it not showing? Database lower third. Let's see, pages display. Let's see why it's not showing up yet. Oh, look at that. I didn't see this. They have logs over here too. I can show them the logs. So yeah, we were working on setting up the display. The display is what's going to show up in the site. We wanted to have the logo to show up. We wanted to have the or we can specify how many rows you want to show up. And then we added a canvas. I don't know why this preview is not appearing yet. Let me see. Refresh this page. What are you thinking about? Let's say OBS lower third. We have lower third database. We have display. We have OBS lower third. Let me see. Copy. What am I copying? Here we go. This site cannot provide a secure. Why is that? Huh. What's going on here? Let me see. Open sidebar, dashboard. Sometimes they will, at least I know it's Supabase. Okay, you're viewing production data. 0 tables in public schema. Let's see if we look at. Okay, so if we turn off production, because we haven't pushed the production yet. If we turn off the production data, we're able to see, hold on over here. Turn off production data, we are able to see, let's see. Able to see that. Let's see. I don't know why it's not showing up yet. Let me see. Why is it not showing? Error in SSL protocol. What if I do publish? Let's see if let me try to publish it. Let's say plugin. Check. Say TCR. So publish changes. But let's see if I publish it, because I don't know what's happening with the preview mode. But it'd still be cool to get something published, get something out there. I mean, it should be working. Publish changes, review live data. All right, so that's published. View site. Okay. All right, so something's up with the preview mode. Can't really put my finger on it on what it is, but we were able to publish. What is this? Okay, let's try restarting the server. I was expecting my preview to show up right away. Dev server started. Okay. All right, dev server. So if the dev server started, then this should load up eventually. It's gonna be kind of hard to work on it if it's not starting up. Okay. Turn off auto. I'm turn off auto clear so I can see what's going on. Okay. Let me just try to type something in. So all right, let's look at this one first. So this would be the URL for the browser source. And let's say we go to preview, select the lower third. Let's say we do this one. Play. Looks kind of small. There we go to logo. Let me go upload a logo real quick. There were supposed to be 2 of these actually. All right, let's go to find myself a logo. And I need a, okay. So here, logo. All right, we got the logo position to the left. We want the logo pretty big. And we say rows. My canvas. All right, so we have the logo. Let's say, all right, so we say first row, let's say exploring, create anything, custom OBS lower third plugin. Shape, I want start off with a rectangle. If this is the top row, I want a color of, let's try this. Let's try this one. And let's finish with a color like this one to get started. Row height, let's say 120. And then this one, I would want it to be color like this. And I want the same color actually. So no gradient on the second row. Right? And I want that to be also a rectangle. And I'm going to say software explorations sponsored by the best resume flow app. All right, is there a place to save? We have that, we have our rows, we have this preview. Okay, we're getting there. So now I say font size 100 for the top one. Kind of would want to see the, whoa, that's way too big, way too big. Let's say we do 60. That is still a bit big. Let's say we do 40. So one thing I'd want to be able to see, I'd want to be able to see the colors are good. I'd want to be able to see the preview without having like, I want to be able to see the preview on any of these pages that I'm on instead of having to go to the transition page to be able to preview it. I don't know why the logo is so small, but we will take care of that. But basically, all right, so now if I take this lower third and I drop it into OBS, we should be able to see we should be able to see it as well. If I go to, let's say we were, which one is it supposed to be? It's not a doc, it's a browser source. Oh, there we go. If I say okay, and I show it. Okay, we getting there. It looks a little different. It looks a little different in the preview than it does in the, like the colors look a bit off. They're not as bright as I would expect them to be. The logo looks a little bit off. So let's say we go to, just make it super big, right? And padding to, text padding to the left. Let's say we increase that. And I say, so the preview looks different than it does on the preview looks different than it does on the okay, it doesn't look like the, let me see canvas. All right, so this looks better. This looks better, but what's transpiring on the actual layout is a little different. So let's say we were to do, let's say we did this, right? All right, so from what I'm seeing, there's some things that are mismatching, right? So the canvas looks kind of right. What I have on in OBS looks kind of right, but they're not gelling. The colors aren't giving me the right, what is this right padding? The row spacing, let's say. So this is another issue thing here. Like, why are you limiting it to, oh, there we go. Here, canvas. All right, so there's no space here. And then I go to here. Let's say I made this like 4. Better. Then we do 30. Better. Let's say we do this row height as 60. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm wondering if the reason that it is getting stuck halfway is because this is limiting me to 120, right? And if I was to go back in here and I was to say refresh. Okay, so here, all right, so here's gonna be my first prompt. Here's my first prompt that I'm gonna say in anything, right? When I zoom in on there, let's say when I make updates, what is displaying on the canvas does not match the HTML that is displaying in OBS and in the transition preview window. How can we get everything to display the same and in sync? So that's my first question that I have. Let's see what it's going to say. So there's a mismatch between what's displayed on the canvas editor, what displays in OBS, and what displays in the transition preview. This is a sync issue. Let me think about what could be causing it. The canvas uses specific scaling, canvas width 800, canvas height 450, 16 by 9. It scales elements based on the dimensions, font size, row size, font size, or 18. Canvas width by 1920 pixels. The display page.jsx doesn't scale. It uses full width and bottom position. The transition editor preview also has its own scaling. Main issues are likely canvas scales things between 800 by 450 preview. Display page doesn't scale, uses actual viewport dimensions. Transition editor preview also has its own scaling. They're using different reference dimensions to fix. We need to make sure all three canvas, display, and transition editor use the same rendering logic. Exactly, I agree with that. Either create a shared component that they all use, or at least ensure the CSS styling is identical. Looking at the code, let's see where canvas is 800, display doesn't scale. Transition editor also scales for preview font size. The best solution would be to create a shared component that renders the lower third that use the component in canvas display. And I agree with that. Yeah, have the same component. That way we can keep it consistent. This ensures they all look the same, or at minimum, ensure the same scaling logic is used everywhere. Let me check what the user is seeing. Canvas shows a preview, the display shows the actual overlay, and the transition editor shows a preview. All three need to render identically. The core problem is that each one applies different scaling factors and styling approaches. I should extract the common rendering logic and into a reusable component. Okay, the full screen display and the transition editor, you're right. The issue is that the canvas display page, okay, we got that. Let me fix this by creating a shared component. Okay, now let me update the display page to use the shared renderer. Now let me update the canvas editor to use the shared renderer. All right, so they said that they fixed it. Now open the canvas tab in the editor, make a change, adjust the logo, padding, check all three places simultaneously. All right, let's see what happens. I don't know why I cannot get it in here though. I think I'm gonna, oh, this really sucks. Because if we can't see it in here, then we're gonna have to like publish and stuff like that. It's gonna be weird. I don't think I'm gonna be able to see it here yet because it's not published. Well, something. Well, maybe it is. Yes, it is. I didn't think it was gonna be published yet. So now let's say I go into OBS and I refresh the page. Looks about right, to be honest with you. Kind of, yeah. So, I don't know. Let me see something. Why isn't that one coming back? Okay. Oh, okay. I see why. That doesn't look exactly the same like the other ones, but if we were to do, all right, so a couple of issues that we're having is that the logo size is maxing out at 200 and the text padding left is maxing out at 120.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
I'll throw this in there before we go to break. I need to be able to have the logo size to go up to go up to 600 px and the padding left for the padding left for the text to be able to go up to 600px as well. That way we can make sure we're controlling the spacing and stuff like that. And then hopefully it would reflect that on our OBS lower third. Let's see what happens with that. All right, so I'm gonna send that off, and then we're gonna, so now as that's doing its thing, we're gonna go to break. We are going to go to break. And let me check the chat. I will check the chat. Then we're gonna get into our first break time discussion. Junior says, you sound like the guy from the movie The Notebook asking the lady what she wants, and she couldn't answer the question. Is what it is. We got Reese in the building. What's up? How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. It says, do you think Microsoft is next for big layoffs? I heard that Microsoft was ramping up to lay off a bunch of people as well. They said between Microsoft and Amazon, it was going to be a bloodbath. A bloodbath. What they said. That's what they said. Let me see. We got Phil Knight in the building. Says add logo alignment also. Yep. I am planning to do that. So I'm just trying to get it to look right first. And then once that, so this is what I want to do. I want to do the logo alignment, right? And then I want to be able to control the transition for each row. So let's say the top row goes to the left and the next row goes to the right. And then say the text goes like, just disappears, like poof, right? So, building these softwares, it's, and I'm not even I'm not adamantly familiar with anything yet. So as we go through it, we're gonna be making progress that way, right? So, but that's definitely on the docket to do the logo alignment, to be able to control the transition per row, because with these, basically you can make it do what you want it to do, as opposed to them giving you something. You're the one in control. You own the keys to your kingdom. All right. First story of the night. The first story of the night. We're gonna jump into Apple. Apple, believe it or not, they are nearing a 4 trillion. I didn't say million. I didn't say billion. I said 4 trillion dollar market valuation. And guess what? With all due respect, and when I say with all due respect, I can say whatever I want after that. With all due respect, Apple sucks at AI. Apple could not AI themselves out of a wet paper bag. For now, at least. Because, at the end of the day, they can just say, you know what, I'm just going to buy this AI company, and now we become the best at AI. So it's just that easy for Apple and these major players, right? But right now, Apple has to hold that L in the AI market space, but they are nearing a $4 trillion market valuation. Where they do that at, right? So let's watch this. Let's jump into this together, right? So let me get this off the screen for now. All right, so Apple nears a $4 trillion market valuation. We're going to watch this video to hear about what is going on in the Apple world.
On the move today, we're also on Apple 4 trillion watch this morning for that milestone market cap. Steve Kovac has more.
Yeah, we're about $4 shy of that milestone there when they hit 4 trillion. It's up 1% right now. And look, this really came as we've seen so much momentum, guys, behind the iPhone 17. JPM is just the latest firm this morning to really jump on the bandwagon, increasing their price target to $290. That's just about 10 or 12% from Friday's closing price. And they're also saying get ready for some surprising upside in the December quarter guidance, saying it's going to be robust, saying to expect growth or top line revenue growth rather in the high single digits. They're also expecting that for the September quarter results. And it's all because of the same stuff we've been talking about since this rally really kicked into high gear about 10 days or so. It's iPhone 17, the base model, selling extremely well in China due to those Chinese subsidies. It's the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max selling well here in the United States. The iPhone Air not selling as well, but it really doesn't matter if those more high-end phones are taking up the share of that. And then this is all happening, guys, without any answer to artificial intelligence. Apple is kind of taking the year off after delaying its big AI update to Siri, and the market is kind of accepting that now that that is behind it, now that it's kind of mitigated the worst.
I told you, I said it first. Apple sucks. He said it a lot nicer than I did, right? But Apple sucks at AI. They got their fancy laptops, their fancy watches, their fancy goggles. But they have no AI. They have no AI.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But they are still running it up.
The tariffs after Tim Cook really smoothed things over with his relationship with President Trump. And so now we just look forward to earnings and seeing if they can actually deliver based on all these whispers and momentum we've been seeing in the sales data, guys.
Yeah, I did notice D.A. Davidson reiterated their neutral, Steve. They argued that it's a little bit too early to get good clarity on the iPhone cycle.
Yeah, that's also possible. But I mean, look, what people have been doing over the last month or so since the phones went on sale.
Do you remember when we reviewed, like, when Apple had their big announcements and we were looking at the like what they were releasing, the AirPods the AirPods, they were pretty cool with, like, they can do like the translation stuff, and I think they could do some not blood pressure. What heart rate monitoring? I don't know. It was either heart rate or blood pressure or something like not blood. It could monitor something, right? Some health stuff. They had the watch that was going to be monitoring stuff. They showed the new iPhone, and they have the forward facing and the back facing camera recording at the same time. But then they also had this novel concept of this iPhone Air that cost, believe it or not, yeah. It costs like $1,000 cheaper than the iPhone 17. And it's like super thin, super flimsy, one camera. And now this guy over here is telling us that the iPhone Air isn't selling the best in the world. And from a non-iPhone user that I am, I use everything else Apple, but from this non-iPhone, which I do want to get me an iPad. But regardless, when I saw the iPhone Mini or iPhone Air, I was like, who's gonna want that? Why would someone in their right mind want an iPhone Air? And he's answering right now that I don't know who in their right mind would actually want this iPhone Air. That's what he's saying to us right now.
Carl, is looking at those lead times. So when you order your phone, it says, you'll get it in 10 days or 14 days. Those lead times continue to remain longer than they were a year ago. So that's where all the optimism is coming in, because that implies demand is higher than it was a year ago, all without artificial intelligence. So the read on this is we don't need to necessarily have a good AI story for Apple until the end of the year. We're going to get that next year. And in the meantime, it's the momentum excitement around the iPhone 17, the iPhone 18 next year with that foldable version, and then even a year beyond that, the 20th anniversary edition of the iPhone, which is also expected to be a new form factor and a bunch of new hardware features, guys.
Right.
Remember though, while Apple is hitting their $4 trillion valuation, the government is still shut down. Watch out for the looters and the robbers coming to a grocery store near you. And while they're robbing and stealing and looting, they will be streaming it to TikTok on their iPhone 17 Air. That is how the cookie crumbles. That's how the cookie crumbles. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me check the chat to see if there's anything in there, and then we'll get back into our second segment of work. Oh, nope, we're good to go. We are good to go. Let me know if I answered your question, Reese and Go Night. Let me know what you think about. Let me know what you think about the ideas to. Let me know what you think about the ideas to, for the features of the lower third to move the logo and all that good stuff, right? So let's jump back in. Let's jump back into this. I really wish my preview was working. I don't know what happened to my preview. I'm gonna have to write them about that to say, hey, what the hell is going on with my preview? Because that is not cool. Let's jump. Let's throw up a 20.
Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go over here. It says, all right, done. I've updated the max values. Logo size now goes up to 600, was 200. Text padding now goes up to 600, was to 120. Text padding right now goes up to 600, was. Now you can drag those sliders all the way to 600 for much larger logos and padding. Just to me. This is definitely not the right way to do this, but all right, I will have to talk to them. I'll have to talk to them about it. But let's see if we can see it through here though. And technically I shouldn't be able to because it hasn't been fully published yet, but I don't know. Let's go here. Let's go to, okay, that's what I thought, right? So let me refresh, make sure. Go here. All right, so I am going to, since I can't see the preview, I'm going to publish again. So by publishing again, it should allow me to see those changes allow me to see those changes on this view over here so that we can continue building out our lower third. So if that's weird. There we go, rows. I don't know how this duplicate happened. Let's go here. Let's go to let's say we made this 300. Text padding. Let's say we go to 1. Let's go to 200. Canvas. All right, so let's see if we have this. Let me go ahead and put this back on. And I am going to refresh this. The canvas does look the same. Or not the canvas. The canvas looks correct. This looks correct. But all right, what if I go to here? And then I go here. See, it's not rendering correctly when I go to the URL, right? It looks exactly the same when I go here. So something isn't right over here. So let's say when I go to the browser source URL in OBS, I'm not seeing the same look that I can see on the canvas and in the preview. Something isn't making it to. Let me try one more thing too, right? So if I take this URL and I open a new tab and I go here, See, like this right here should reflect what I'm seeing when I go to canvas. So it's so all right. So and it should show this huge logo right here. All right. Let's all right. So is it making it to the display source? It looks correct in the canvas and the transition, but it's not, but not when I go to the display source directly in the browser or in OBS. Let's see what we can get out of this one. And it was supposed to be synced. That's what they said, right? But that's the complexities of using these AI platforms. It's a lot of back and forth sometimes. I've updated the display page to render properly for OBS. The key changes change from fixed to relative positioning. The old version used fixed, which can cause issues with how OBS renders browser sources. Set the viewport using 100 VH so it takes up the full screen like OBS would show it. Added overflow hidden to make sure nothing spilled out of bounds. Remove tailwinds classes using inline styles for more reliable rendering in OBS. Now, when you put your display source in OBS, it should match exactly what you're seeing in the canvas. The lower thirds will render at full size with all your padding and logo size applied correctly. All right, so let's refresh this one first. It still looks the same. Well, no, let me publish. Let's publish. I shouldn't have to publish every single time, but you know, the work in progress. It looks the same. It looks good on the canvas. Okay, so it looks good here. Looks good there. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it's working there. Let me see if I can refresh this. It's the same. Yep, it looks the same. All right. So we will say that they just add a that's funny. I have a watermark showing. All right. So the customizations in the customizations I can still see the changes reflected on the canvas, but it is not reflected in the display page, whether I look at it in the browser or in OBS. So I'm bothered that I'm not able to see the preview. That's one thing. And if I had a limited amount of credits, I would be annoyed that I'm keep going back and forth with the same thing over and over and over again. And it keeps finding the issue, but it never fixes it, right? Says, let me see. The changes you make on the canvas are being updated in UI, but they're not making but they might not be getting saved to it. What? That doesn't make any sense. Or the display page isn't fetching the updated data. Let me see now. Let me understand. The lower third manager. I found the issue when you make changes in the canvas and click save, the updates are being sent to the API, but the set active mutation isn't being called to refresh it. Okay. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to publish it again so I can actually see the changes live. Let's go to here. So that's still not there. So let me try to resize this a little bit, see what we get. And if we were to go to, I mean, it kind of auto saves, right? Let's go here. Canvas. I don't know. It looks exactly the same to me. Let me see if I can, and I can't. Let me see. And there's a whole thing over here. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Publishing, I'm seeing. Exactly the same to me. Yeah. You know? Not even the preview. When I go to the browser source, it looks exactly the same as before. It is not rendering. It is not rendering. It's not rendering as I have configured it to. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep putting the same prompt, and I'm just gonna let it go. You know what? We might pivot. We might pivot in that case, right? You might go into open lovable. And this is the thing, like oh, okay. Now you got it. All right. So let's try that. You publish it again. Let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, there we go. I'm about to say, what gives? All right, we're getting there. We are getting there. Okay, cool. So now, if we were to go into OBS, refresh, there we go. Okay. Now we're talking. So now we can start playing around with it. So if we go to here and we say I don't know why I always redoing the logo size. So let's say we do 200 as a logo size. And we say go like that. Okay. The color looks better in OBS now too than it did before. So let's say we were to do row height of, let's say 80. Font size of, let's say 30. And we were to go to, ooh, might be too small. Did it get smaller? Can't really tell if it got smaller. I guess it kind of did. That's, oh shoot, what did I just close? Let's do some more. Logo, let's say we do the logo at like 150. Padding 200. Canvas. The canvas don't look like it actually is. Okay, that's good. So let me reduce that then. A little more. Okay, 240. Okay, so that's good. Now, if we go to font size 40 and we say, what happened here? So let's say this row height is like 40. And we look at the canvas. Let's put the row height a little bit taller. And this is why I don't like having to go to all these different 35. Oops. Let's say this is 50. I could have the logo just a little bit bigger. That's more like it. That is more like it. Okay, I'm feeling that. The text is a little too big, but I'm with it. Let's go to, let me see something real quick. Let me go to, okay, let's do this. 1920 by 1080. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. And now I can even reduce some of the spacing a little bit to, let's go over here. Yeah. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. How do I stop it? I don't know how to stop it. Okay. All right. So now, okay, now, let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? We're getting there. We are getting there. I would like to be able to lift up the rows from the bottom. All right, let me see what fonts do we have available. I don't know what Ubuntu font is. What is Ubuntu? Exactly the same. Okay. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's say I still don't like the color, the bright, like the that orange is not as bright as I want it to be. I would want it to be like this color that you're seeing on the existing lower third, but that's not that big of a deal right now. Let's say I want to be able to set a margin for the bottom of where the lower third rows start, and not and have that separate from the bottom margin of the logo. That way we can get cool overlapping effects and better center the logo onto the rows. So I'm gonna send that, and then when we come back from break, we'll investigate that, and then we'll look into doing the transitions of the rows on their own. Yeah, we'll look into the transitions of the rows on their own to make them go one way or the other, and we'll look into like to see a better font, because this font is like kind of plain. It's like a regular Arial font. I would like to get a better font as well for the lower third. So we will investigate that once we get back, but we're gonna go to break. And let's see. I'm also, before I go to break, let's go to, let me hide this for now. All right, cool. So we're at break and we're making progress. So I suppose if you were to get the service of anything, then that would be removing the watermark. Cool. So let me check the chat, and then we shall get to our next topic, which we're going to be talking about Workday's CEO. Let's see. So we got my guy in the building. My guy Rod Brown put on a show last night. He put on a show. Shout out to my guy Rod Brown. Shout out to Rod Brown.
Let's get it.
And I had fun disagreeing with Rod Brown. I always have fun disagreeing with Rod Brown, but shout out to Rod Brown. He is in the building. Let's see. Phil Knight says probably need to say what your canvas size is for your scene. Yep, that's exactly what I did. So I had it as 1280 by 720. So that's the size they had for the browser source. So I adjusted it to 1920 by 1080, and then we got it all fit in the right way. And I just shrunk it down into the canvas, like on OBS, and it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful mostly. Let me see. It says, Junior says, I guess we'll see how good it looks when it's done. It's getting there. It is getting there. Robert says her husband still needs to step in. All right. Okay, so let's get into this topic real quick, right? So I was talking about in our icebreaker about y'all hate these big companies, but then you get mad when they downsize and when they get rid of people. You hate them when they're big, you hate them when they are small. We're talking about the Workday CEO. Do you guys use Workday? Workday is a HR management platform, probably one of the biggest. I think ADP, Workday, and there's another one called like Payroll, and then there's Ultimate Software, which is now UKG. Probably some of the biggest ones in like payroll and human resources tools, right? But Workday CEO, he says that AI will amplify, not replace, workers and human performance. Let's see how. Let's see if there's any logic or reason to this madness.
And definitely.
Part of the selling point, not just from you guys, but for the promise of Gen AI generally, is an increase in productivity. And I know that you all decreased your headcount earlier this year. How much of that is then being made up for by using some of these AI tools?
Well, I think there's two different questions in there. Number one, we did do a restructuring earlier this year. But we also talked about that restructuring was to give us more operating leverage to invest back in AI. And we also are now starting to look at a global workforce, trying to move our workforce closer to our customers around the world. So that's really what we've done. In fact, we're hiring as many people back as what we did in the restructuring. So I think there's a narrative out there that we did it purely because of AI. No, we did it to leverage AI and invest more into the platform. As much as anything. Today,
here's a translation for what he just said, right? Oh, and you are going to hate my translation. I'm telling you, these CEOs, they put it in a very nice to-do way, makes you feel all warm and fuzzy. But here's what he said, right? We got rid of all the people that weren't adding any value to our company. What? What?
How dare you?
That's what he said. I am just repeating what he said, right? What he said, what he whispered, I said. He said that y'all were adding no value. So we got rid of y'all in the name of AI. And now, because he didn't say we're hiring back the same people we got rid of. He said we are hiring back people who are looking to go in the same direction that we're going in. We got rid of them, and now we're hiring new people who are more aligned with our vision and who know how to use AI to be more effective. Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it, all right?
I think a lot of people, quite frankly, who are doing restructurings lean into it and say they're doing it purely because of AI. I don't think that's always true. I think people have overhired over the last 5 years coming out of COVID. They're restructuring to drive operating leverage in the business. That being said,
I always tell y'all, if you guys did not use the time during COVID, we can say that now on YouTube, right? If you didn't use that time to get a skill, if you only used it, and I'm telling you, y'all used to argue with me. Oh, but some people need these 10 jobs, and they are still making videos about how they plan to rob and loot on Saturday. So if you're 10 jobs that you got working from home, cheating the system, being overemployed, cheating the system, and you still complaining about the government shutdown? When I was telling you that, what I said was, take one, maybe two if you're going to be working on at separate time, because then you get more experience, but you got no experience. You took the money without any experience, and now, I'm in a bind, Nate. You calling Nate? And Nate don't even want to talk to you. Nate ain't about talking. Nate ain't do no talking in that movie. He ain't talk. I try to tell you, get the skill, get the knowledge, get the education. Like, nah, I just want the bag. And now, sadly, the bag is empty. It's empty.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I'm just translating for what this billionaire is saying. I'm translating it into 100,000 errors, maybe 10,000 errors talk. All right.
Everybody, including us, across every single function in the enterprise at Workday, we are leveraging AI. We're getting operating leverage, and we're using those operating leverage in those cost savings to invest in the business to drive growth for the company, also for our employees. We don't believe AI is going to replace humans. We think it's going to drive a step function change in human productivity, and we're going to amplify human performance, not replace it. So I think, all
right, let me translate again, right? It is, because you see, he's saying it in a way that gonna make you feel all warm and fuzzy. Oh, I'm gonna get hired again. No. AI will replace certain people, the ones who don't add value. The ones who don't add value to the company, they're gonna get replaced. It will amplify those who do add value so they can do more with less. So they can be more productive. Because now imagine if you, let's say you're in engineering, right? And you go ahead and you write some code and it's doing all this stuff. And now you submit it and you say, AI, go do my code review. Give me some suggestions, some recommendations. Or if you set up some type of agentic thing to do X, Y, and Z. So now you are able to be more. You guys remember when I had a clone? Do you remember when I had a clone? My clone used to be on it. You could have a whole conversation with my clone. I used to have arguments with my clone. But you can have AI working while you are away. And you need to be able to manage your AI effectively. But if you do not add value, I believe this. If you do not add value to the team, to the company, then you shouldn't be there. What? I said it.
How dare you?
I said it, all right? If you do not add value to the company, to the team, then you should not be there. And that's what he's saying. I agree with him, but that's what I'm just saying what he's saying in plain English to you. AI will replace those who do not contribute. The days of you just going there and sitting down and getting a check for not doing any work are over. They're over. The world is open back up. As a country, we are making $1 trillion deals. And I'll throw this in there too, right? Why do you think certain politicians, they want our spending levels in the trillions of dollars? Tens of trillions of dollars in debt. We're trying to make $1 trillion deals to make money come in, and that upsets them. And then they're like, you know what? We want to spend more money. We want it because guess what? Tell me this. If you let's use something that's more realistic, something that you can relate to, right? What if, let's talk about your student loans. Let's talk about your student loans. Let's say you only have about $15,000 in student loans, right? Let's say you have $15,000 in student loans. And you can see that, so now let's say all of a sudden the next month you get a bill and it says that, oh, your student loans are $17,000. Like, whoa, where'd this $2,000 come from? And you're gonna call them like, hey, what the hell is going on? What, like, I've been paying down. Is this a mistake? What's going on? Now, let's say you have $200,000 in student loans. What? Yes, let's say you have $200,000 in student loan. If they add an extra $2,000, you're not even gonna know, because one, you're probably not paying it anyways. So they're able to stick in the fraud, the waste, the abuse when the amount is so much higher. That's the trick. That's what, and they're able to give that. They're able to run it up. They're able to get richer. They're able to give their friends the friend and family discount, giving the contracts to their friends and family. But when you have a hawk's eye on the spending, you're trying to reduce it. That's when they get mad. That's when the swamp creatures come out. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right.
Definitely me, Julie. I have a different view that we're going to, take out 20, 30, 40, 50% of our employees because of AI. I just don't see it. We're going to actually amplify human potential, not replace it through the use of AI.
Amplify human potential. That's what he said. He said that he sees that they're going to amplify human potential. But the caveat is the human potential that actually wants to be amplified. Because some people, they love where they are at. And some people, they want more. Some people, they want more. Some people, they just want to win it all.
People watch as the clock ticks by, but I'm the storm in the endless sky. I'll climb the mountain, no matter the slope. Fueled by hunger, fueled by hope.
They sit and watch as the clock just spins, but I'm out here chasing where it begins. I don't need luck, I don't need a sign, just a fire in my soul and a dream that's mine.
All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the sky.
I'm betting it all, no second glance.
I just want to win it all. I just want to win it all. And that's why you will see me here every day, live, premiere, clips, because I want to win it all. I just want to win it all. I want to run it up. I want to be controversial. Like, I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this. My guy, Rod Brown, I'm watching his live stream yesterday, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, when did he get to 200 to 2,500? When did he get to 2,500 subscribers? Because he be fighting. He be fighting. First with his turban friends, and then with the money collectors, with the, you guys remember Bone Thugs and Harmony, them calling me Mr. Bill Collector. He be fighting. He be fighting. He be on it. I was like, whoa, like 2 days ago, Mr. Rod Brown, we were at like 2,100, and now 2,500. I was like, what? Shout out to my guy, Rod Brown. All right, let's get to the chat. Let's get to the chat. But look, if you don't want to do the work, if you do not want to do the work, AI, they will tell you that AI is going to replace you. But that's just a way to get you up out of there. Get you up out of there. You're not adding value. You are not adding value. All right. So let me see. Rod Brown says, my job uses Workday. Mine does too. Yep, mine does too. And Rod Brown says, Nate, help a brother out.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Rod Brown, you do not want the help of Nate. You do not want the help of Nate. I'll tell you that right now, right? Junior says, Nate ain't about talking. Nope, he is not. Nate is not about talking.
Do not come.
Let's see. Junior says, what happened to your clone? We got into one too many fights. And I said, you know what? You're out of there. I'm not paying you for this. I am not paying for you to argue with me. All right. So got it up out of there. Got it up out of there. And Robert says, hey, Matt. Give you a. I be working. Mostly. There are some times like Rod, I don't feel like doing. I'm like Rod Brown, get to work. There's no time to complain. You got to go and fight the good fight. And I'm still waiting for my turban. All right, let's get in one more segment of work before we get up out of here. I am happy with the progress that we're making using anything. I will say, I was getting a little bit discouraged. I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? But they came through. Let's throw on one more 20-minute segment.
It's time to do.
So they say, perfect, all set. Here's what I've done. Added separate margin controls. Database added 2 new columns to store independent margins. Row margin bottom, control spacing below the rows, and logo margin bottom, control spacing below the logo. Let's see. API endpoints updated all routes to handle the new fields. Lower thirds, get post, ID, get put, active, get render modified lower thirds, render to apply, margin bottom to the row container, margin bottom to the logo container, editor UI. You know what would be cool? You know what would be a cool project as well? What if, because I did the overview of OpenLovable. What if we also try to use OpenLovable's open source platform to create the lower thirds plugin as well? So we'll have the one that we create with anything, and then we'll have the one that we do with the open source, running it locally on our machine through Docker to create it with OpenLovable to see how that goes. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun project. I think maybe we'll try that next week. All right. So it says added input controls in the canvas editor so you can adjust both margins independently and see them in the preview. Now you can create cool overlapping effects. Try setting row margin. I do like the fact that they say try this and try that. I like that. This gives you full control over the logo row. All right, so let me go and publish because my preview isn't working. And if we go to refresh here, we go here and let me share my screen. Sorry about that. So I go here and I go to rows. Where do I control my margins? Where do I control my margin? Position. Where's the, I don't see the margin. Let's see. Oh, okay, there we go. It's on the canvas. So bottom margin, so the logo to the row. So let's say you go like this, and then the logo bottom margin. Can I go negative? Let me see, logo. I don't see the logo moving. Let me see if I do a negative for the logo, what we get. I don't really see the logo moving. Let me put this back up on the screen. Okay, so the margin for the bottom row is working, but I don't think the margin for the, let's say I did this for like 30, right? But the one for the logo is not working. 40, yep, that one isn't working. All right, cool. So basically we need to, all right, so I'm going to say the bottom margin for the row is working, but the margin for the logo is not working. I should be able to do a negative margin. And the reason that I know like what to tell it is because of my prior HTML, CSS, web development background. So I can say this needs to be a margin, this needs to be padding. Be a negative margin to pull the logo lower than what it's on, than what it would be with a 0 margin. Right, let's see what that happens here. All right, so I fixed the issue with the bottom margin doesn't work on absolutely positioned elements. I've changed to use transform translate y instead. Okay, instead of which property supports negative values. All right. So let's publish that for now. I don't like the fact that my preview URL isn't working because now I have to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, let's refresh this. Let's go to Canvas. 0. Okay, so I guess I have to go up then. All right. Oh, this looks so good. This looks so good. And so now I have to make it bigger because I'm loving it. I am loving it. Let's go to 2. Let's go to 190. Canvas. Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna push this up a little bit more then. And I'm gonna push this down some more. Oh yeah. How you like them apples? How you like them apples? So now let me refresh inside of OBS. Oh yeah. All right, so now I am going to push this over some more. Say 220. It'd be a good oh, what happened to my row? The bottom row. So, see, this is an issue. Sometimes it just changes on you. I don't know what like why that would, because this isn't the first time I've seen it just change to a 6 on me. Go here. We had this at like 50. 50? It's 50. Yeah, it's 50. All right. Wait, what? What happened to something ain't right. Oh, okay. I see what happened. Brush this one. Let me close this tab out because that's old. All right, let's refresh this again. Looking better, looking better. Let me go to 60. And let's go to 100. I really need the preview to be on the same page, to be honest. That's better though. Go back. 50. So that's another thing we need to fix there. Okay, that looks way better. Still needs a little bit more. Let me see if I do 50. Still need some more padding though. Let's go to 53. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. So now if you go to here and we say 255, refresh. There we go. All right, now we 255 is probably too much. Let's go to 245. Okay, now we're in business. Now we are in business. Looks way better. All right. I'm liking it a lot. All right, so now let's do this. I want to be able to control the direction of the transition for each row. For instance, the top row can transition from the left and the bottom row can transition from the right. Let's send that off. I'll tell you this though. I never imagined creating an OBS plugin, and the fact that brand new tool is able to do that for us, and we're able to integrate it into OBS without any issues. I think that is absolutely fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating. Also, I am going to make a video, probably for our next week's software explorations, on, and you can also ask me inside of the Vibe Coding show that's coming up this Saturday, but it is going to be about configuring OBS for the audio settings for when you're live streaming and when you are recording, so you can like clip it up later, to have each audio track on to have each audio track individually, so that they're not all on one sound thing, because then it's going to be harder to, let's say you want to remove a sound effect, or for instance when I had the interview with David Yeti last week, shout out to my guy David Yeti, it recorded all on one audio track, so now it makes it a little bit more complicated to edit it, because like his audio was kind of lower sometimes, so I had to pull it up, and it's like a bunch of cutting. So I'm going to be showing a way to get everything on separate audio tracks, so that it can be easier to edit at that point. All right, perfect. I've added row transitions direction control. Here's what I added. Add a database, added transition direction column to store the direction for each row. Row editor added transition direct and drop down for each row with options from left, from right, from top to the bottom. Lower third renderer updated to apply different sliding animations based on each row's transition. Now each row can have a transition. For example, you can set the top row to transition from left and bottom, and they'll animate independently with the same speed and easing. Let's go give it a try. I'm going to publish. And let's go back over here. Let's refresh. Let's say we click on this one. And we go to transition. Where do you set it per row? This. Where do you set it per row? Said it, added it. Rows? Where do you do it at? Let's see. Published this in a minute ago. Rows editor added a transition direction drop down for each row with options. Each row with options. Rows editor would be. Oh, okay. I'd be blind. It's right here. So let's say transition from left, and then this one is going to be from right. And if we go to transitions preview, oh, maybe that's not the best previewer for it. All right, let's go to, let's refresh. And if we go to if we put this one, that didn't work. Go here. All right, so, and just to make sure that I do have it set from left. Oh wait, how did that change from right? So if we go to this, it's all coming from the same spot. Let me see if I go here, that's that one, and I go here. Okay, so that's not working then. Although I was able to set what direction for each row, they are not transitioning in independently of each other. Can you check the code to make sure they enter in correctly? What I also want to check is the credit. How much credits have I used on this project? I have no idea. I don't even know where I'd find that. Maybe it is. I have no idea where to find that out. To check. I'll look later. All right, I fixed it. Here's what was wrong. The get transition style function was being called without passing the row index, so all rows had animation delay of 0. Get transition style now accepts row indexes as a second parameter, staggered delayed. Each row is delayed by 100 in its index, and so forth. This means the rows will now enter one after the other with the staggered effect, while each can still have its own transition direction. You can have a top row slide in from the left, and 100 milliseconds later, the middle row slides in from the right. All right, let's publish that. Let's refresh. Okay. Oh, what? Hold on. So, okay, so that I did kind of see it happen. So let's say from the left, from the right. Is it saving though? The question is it saving? You go here. Now we go here. That drives me crazy. It's still coming in together. Okay, so although I'm setting it to it wait, oh my god. All right, so it keeps resetting. So although I said from the right, all right, so when I set row 2 to transition from the right, it always gets reset to transition from the left. I don't think the value is being stored in the database, or it is being overwritten somehow.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
All right, we'll try this last one out, and then we will see if that works. And if not, we'll keep working on it. But I am I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm happy that we're able to push it this far with it. Really cool. Really good work. I'm gonna start clipping up the last week's episode of this, so that people can start getting an idea of how anything works. And then I'm gonna clip this one too. I'm still not totally sold on the colors because the colors look a little dull when I look at them in OBS. Found and fixed the issue. The API route was missing transition direction in 2 places. In the get query, it wasn't fetching the transition direction from the database, so it was never being loaded. In the insert statement, it wasn't saving the transition direction when you updated the rows. So the values are getting lost. Okay, that's what I thought. Now, when you set the row to transition from right or any other direction, it will. If any of you guys want to try anything, I do have a link for it in the description of the video, so that you can give it a try yourself. I'm trying anything, and if you want to give it a try, go ahead and see if it would work for you. It sounds like you're dealing with a frustrating issue that could benefit from a more sophisticated approach. With Max, you gain deeper understanding of complex problems and ability to handle intricate tasks with ease. Plus, Max can run the code to fix issues directly, ensuring that your problems are not only identified but also resolved, and you can receive an email when the task is complete. Maybe we'll have to upgrade to Max to see how that works. Let me see. Look at what Max has to offer. Max says, bring order to chaos. Max is a frontier AI agent that doesn't just write code, but actually runs it, tests it, and iterates until it works. It is $200 a month. So if you guys are looking for some serious building, then invest in your business, invest in your company with the $200 a month Max plan. All right, so let's give it a try. Let's give it a try before we get up out of here. So let me go ahead and publish. And we shall refresh. Let's go here. We go to rows, and we're going to say from right. That should save, hopefully. And now if we go to here, we go back to here. Oops, back here. No. Why are you not saving from right to left? Let me refresh one more time. I don't know why you are not. You said, see? I think we're gonna have to end the show with I don't trust your vibes. I don't trust your vibes. Right. It says saved. All right. So if I go and I refresh and I go to this one, see, no, it's not. It's not saving. It is not saving it. I don't know why. I'm not happy about that. It's still not saving when I choose to transition in from the right for a different row. Can you check if the transition is interfering with what I'm saving? Oh, okay. Well, guess that's it for today. Maybe we will come back at this on next week Thursday. We shall see. We reach our limit. So let's do this. Let's do one last story for today. We're going to look at NVIDIA. We are going to look at the big bad NVIDIA. NVIDIA. They have made me so much money. Shout out to NVIDIA. Shout out to the CEO of NVIDIA running it up. But NVIDIA, they said that they will build AI supercomputers for the U.S. Department of Energy. Let's see what's going. Let's see what is going on over there. Go over here, like this. Let's get it.
The federal government.
Today, we're announcing that the Department of Energy is partnering with NVIDIA to build 7 new AI supercomputers to advance our nation's science.
He discussed the agreement during a keynote address at a company event in Washington, D.C. The supercomputers will in part help the United States maintain and develop its nuclear weapons arsenal. They will also be used to research alternative energy sources such as nuclear fusion. Huang also said the company has $500 billion in bookings for its Blackwell and Rubin chips over the next 5 quarters.
I think we're probably
when the government is shut down, right? Do the companies that they contract with still get paid? Where is Magnetar? Where is Magnetar when you need them? Where is my resident government employee when you need them? Because if the government is shut down, right? If the government shut down, do the contractors still get paid? Or do they also go without a check? I don't know.
First technology company in history to have visibility into $500 billion of cumulative Blackwell and early ramps of Rubin through 2026. And as you know, 2025 is not over yet and 2026 hasn't started. This is how much business is on the books.
NVIDIA is striking deals around the world while also navigating a U.S.-China trade war that could determine which country's technology is most used around the world. Huang said NVIDIA has not yet sought licenses from the U.S. government to ship its Blackwell AI processors to China.
It made it very clear that they don't want NVIDIA to be there right now. And for whatever reasons, I hope that will change in the future because I think China is a very important market.
NVIDIA, though, has remained in the good graces of U.S. President Donald Trump by manufacturing some of its products in the U.S. again. And Trump said the two leaders will meet this week.
We're speeding construction of AI infrastructure, bringing production of the critical chips and semiconductors back onshore. And I want to congratulate Jensen because he's been really amazing. He's an amazing guy, brilliant guy. I'm seeing him tomorrow.
The meeting comes one day before Trump meets with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss the economic relationship between the two countries.
There you have it, folks. NVIDIA, supercomputers, super duper computers for the U.S. Department of Energy. That CEO, smart. He's smart. You know what? Let's do one more, because he was on with CNBC as well.
And joining us now exclusively to discuss the partnership, AMD Chair and CEO Lisa Su. Lisa, I know I'm tired of congratulating you. I mean, it's getting ridiculous at this point, but I'll do it again. Congratulations to Lisa Su.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, David. Good morning, Carl. Great to be here with you guys this morning.
Well, let's talk about this deal. This sounds like something that I would never expect from the government. It is almost...
Why is she fake smiling so hard? Or maybe she's not fake smile. Maybe she's just so happy because she's like, we are running up a bag. But her smile looked kind of fake. It looked kind of fake to me.
Almost like TVA. It's the government saying, listen, we can't wait. We have to do this, and we have to do it now. And it sounds like we have to do it now because you're able to deliver something, next year? Is it really? Can be done that fast?
Absolutely, Jim. So we were super excited to announce a new partnership with the Department of Energy. Secretary Wright has been really leading this, with such an ambitious vision of what we want to do in AI for this country. So we announced 2 new supercomputers that use our latest generation AI technology. And the key is, the focus from Secretary Wright was, let's do this as fast as possible. We have so many researchers in the nation that want more computing. And so, yes, we're going to develop 2 supercomputers. One of them will be deployed early next year, and then the other one will be deployed with our next generation MI400 series. So fantastic partnership, and I'm really excited to be able to contribute to this really important mission.
I don't mean to belittle it, but I got to talk a little horse race. I think the MI400 is in some ways equal to NVIDIA. I want to know whether this was a contest and you got this and NVIDIA did not.
Well, as you know, Jim, I mean, this is a place where the national labs are truly a national treasure for the United States. Oak Ridge National Labs has been a great partner for AMD, and you can imagine everybody would want their compute in a.
So, all right, so this is AMD CEO. I thought they just said that NVIDIA is going to be building the supercomputer. So maybe AMD is doing one and NVIDIA is doing another one. Interesting. Okay, I didn't see that. All right, so that means looks like both of them. Every time I talk about these companies, I gotta look up my stock because I think I have some AMD as well. I sure do. Ooh, my AMD looks sweet. AMD, you look beautiful. NVIDIA, oh my God, NVIDIA, you look beautiful. Oh my God. Hotness, everybody, hotness. All right, Lisa, let's.
National Labs. So MI400 series is fantastic. We've been working across the board, across all industries, all of the national labs, all the sovereign countries, and I'm super excited to be able to deploy both our current generation MI355 and our next generation MI430 at the Oak Ridge National Labs through these 2 supercomputers.
Absolutely. What caught my eye in the AMD release is that this is not just for traditional supercomputing for tech. This energy, medicine, health, national security, this to me sounds like a government initiative to stay ahead of everybody else in the world in all of these verticals, not just traditional data center compute. Can you tell us how, if I were, say, Thermo Fisher, or if I were Eli Lilly, I would be able to get into this and say, I want some of that compute power?
You're absolutely right, Jim. This is actually a non-traditional partnership between the government and industry. What we thought to do was, number one, we want to get as much compute as possible, as quickly as possible to the national labs. And they're going to do all kinds of research in medicine, in energy, and national security, which is wonderful. But we also said, there are industries that would, private industries that would like access to some of this compute as well. So the Eli Lillys of the world, the Thermo Fishers, all of these folks would also be able to participate as we bring up these clusters. And it is a very unique partnership. I would say, Secretary Wright said it best. This is the first time that he's announcing something where, the very first time I met Secretary Wright, he said, hey, bring me ideas, Lisa. Bring me ideas that get us more AI in the government faster. And I have to say, he was very open. We love the partnership with Oak Ridge National Labs. Our engineers and scientists are really, really excited about contributing at the national scale for our U.S. AI efforts.
The other big story, Lisa, that made news regarding you guys in recent days was IBM saying about 4 days ago that one of their key quantum algos run on chips from you that are pretty commonly available, and it's raised a lot of questions about the possibility of commercializing those powerful computers.
Well, we are also very excited about the partnership with IBM. And in general, when you think about quantum computing, people were thinking that quantum is, it's going to take years to develop. And when you really think about it, we're not in a place where we can wait years for these developments. We want these developments, really making a difference now. IBM and AMD announced this quantum computing partnership. Our researchers have been working together. And the key is we're going to take the best of classical compute or traditional compute, which is what, we've spent all of this research and development on, and the best of IBM's quantum computing, and really putting putting them side by side in applications. So thinking about, how we solve the biggest material science problems, how we think about, some of the biggest energy problems. And this is an area where, again, when I think about the work that we're going to do with DOE, I think it's going to continue, it's going to be across all of these fields, including how do we get quantum, used in these new workloads as soon as possible. So this is kind of the world that we're in with compute today. It's all about speed and how do we get the most compute on the most important challenges as soon as possible.
Lisa, it's David.
Shout out to Lisa Su, the AMD CEO. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a deep dive into the AMD CEO, Lisa Su, and NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang. Because I noticed something about both of them, right? There are a lot of companies that want to take an adversarial relationship with the government, with the federal government. They said, you know what? I don't care who is in power. We are going to work with the administration to provide them what they need. So number one, they don't sue us. Number two, they don't try to take our company away. Number three, they give us permission to do business with more nations. It is better to be a friend than a foe, especially of this administration. And now you see how President Trump speaks highly of NVIDIA, speaks highly of. I haven't really heard him talk about AMD, but I suppose he speaks highly of them. How when these companies prior were very, let's say, mean, now they have a change of tune, and the amount of investment and synergy that's happening is absolutely amazing. Anyways, I think that's cool. Shout out to NVIDIA. Shout out to AMD for their super duper computers. I'm going to add one of those on my Christmas list to get me a quantum computing computer. Not sure which Christmas that's going to happen, but it is what it is. All right. So that is it for tonight. That is it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for watching me work on the Anything platform, building out my lower third. I think it looks, I think we're making amazing progress with it. I am so excited. I'm going to be clipping these up and start releasing them so that, excuse me, if anybody wants to use, anything, they can see how I did it. They can follow along and they can build, for lack of a better term, anything. They can build anything. All right, but that's it. That's it. Remember tomorrow, the Bug Bite, we're going to be going over the AWS outage that happened. It took so many companies down. It even took smart beds. It even took smart beds down as well. And Saturday, we're going to be having our Vibe Code and Chill, 2 p.m. Eastern time. You can join the Google Meet and we can go one-on-one. We can talk. I can answer your questions. Or you can watch live in the Patreon. I'm going to be streaming it there. I'm going to be talking about the different products the different apps that I've been working on, the coaching portal, the content creation assistant. I'll probably do it live during the show, publishing it to get the wait list up, so people can start signing up for that, especially for content creators. So I'd highly encourage any content creator to come and join me for Vibe Code and Chill to show the features that I'm adding, so you can join the wait list and I can start giving access to it so you guys can give me feedback, all that good stuff, and the enhancements on resume flow as well. All right. Anything else? Check out resumeflow.app. Upload your resume, get some instant feedback, and make the necessary adjustments to start getting more interviews. Sign up for the waitlist for the coaching portal, thrive.techcoachralph.dev. It is going to, you don't even need to be a coaching member. You can use it to just enhance your daily practices, to get more organized, to set goals and all that good stuff. Sign up for that waiting list. I'm going to be sending out invitations very, very soon for that one. And last but not least, techcoachralph.dev. That is where you can join me on Saturday for our Vibe Code and Chill session, especially if you are looking to run it up, if you're looking to get better. techcoachralph.dev, all right? But that is it. That is it, my friends. Let me check the chat one last time, make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me see. Junior says, I'm taking notes. So my workflow will be smooth when I start using it more. Junior's like, I'm not trying to struggle stream like you, Tech Coach Ralph. Nope. Do it, Junior, do it. Says if they don't get paid, they'll most likely get paid after. Nobody works for free. I mean, most people don't work for free. Some people they end up working for free without even knowing it, right? Says you asking questions that'll make people disappear. I don't even remember what I asked. And last but not least, shout out to my guy, Junior. Great show as always. Thank you so much, Junior. And I appreciate you spending the time here with me, helping me out as always.
I appreciate you.
All right, but that is it. That is it for tonight. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Spartans! What is your profession?
People watch as the clock ticks by, but I'm the storm in the endless sky. I'll climb the mountain, no matter the slope. Fueled by hunger, fueled by hope.
They sit and watch as the clock just spins, but I'm out here chasing where it begins. I don't need luck, I don't need a sign, just a fire in my soul and a dream that's mine.
All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the sky.
I'm betting it all, no second glance. Got fire in my soul, I'll take the chance. No time for sitting, no time to stall. The world is spinning, I'll have it all.
They say the world just turns and waits, but I've got no time for those debates. The fire in my chest, it burns so bright. I'll take the dark and turn it to light. All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the sky. No retreat, no looking back. I'll carve my name on this beaten track. They'll say I dream too wild, too bold, but I'll write my story in lines of gold.
All I wanna do is win it all. Climb every mountain, never let me fall. Bet it all on me, I'm the one who rise. I'll break the limits and touch the skies. And touch the skies. No fear in losing, no time to doubt. Every whisper, I'll drown it out. I'll rise higher with every stride. The flame of passion, my only guide.